Hey guys, welcome back in. Going to continue the Stasis device farm. So I got the mix and base put together yesterday. For some reason, it took forever to get the episode to upload to YouTube. So hopefully, it's not too hard to find. So yeah, I got that base done. We're starting off at living glass. I already stretched my my boundaries out. So I'm just gonna do my silos, get my power together, put together living glass. Feeling my ship is probably gonna be in the way. Let's move that over here. Alright, guess I can toss the building up and over at the circuit board farm. I did put up a building already, just because it's such a horrible environment over there. I wanted to get like a landing pad and stuff put in, so. And I am gonna need to get more pure ferrite by the looks of things too. I don't need it right away, but I will need it. Just get a couple pieces started, because I'm going to do this the same way I did with the liquid explosive. So it's the same kind of setup. So just put my building there, get those in place, and then get my walls in place. Get those. Alright. Now I'm going to put my building back. Maybe I'm not. These probably have to be out of the way. There we go. Alright. Just to play things a little bit safe here. I'm not sure why it wouldn't let me snap there. I think it was probably because of the wall. I'm just going to put those walls there. A temporary holder. And toss in a door. That might have to... Alright. See, I might have to rip out this stuff again. And see if I can build a landing pad, so that's done. I want to go there. Might as well just get my colors in place too. To go with blue and rust. Make it look like a bad environment. Alright. And do I have material? Build that. Put that in place. And can I build one of these? Okay, I'm gonna need nano too. Alright, I can build that later. Alright, I think I'm just gonna start off at my power. Head over that way. How many of these can I build? Well, okay, I should be good there. What I am gonna do, because I like to keep track of how much power I'm pulling. I'm just gonna stick a battery down here. Got plenty. Because what I'm gonna have is I'm gonna have 14 biodomes at this location. And 5 extractors, plus the building, the corridors. I think corridors are only 1 unit. Yeah, those are only 1, so there's going to be like a dozen, 14, something like that. So what I want to do is I want to look to pull right around 1200K for power. It's a little bit high, but I'd rather be, have a little extra than not enough. Have to run back and forth. Alright, now you've already got, I think I just got one in place. I forgot to delete it. Because I wanted to drop them down towards the ground. Alright, so I'm going to be pulling right around 145 collars. So, and with power, I always make sure to leave my wire behind just in case, I misjudge the amount of power I need. So I always leave my my wire behind. Over here. It's not going to be directly on the ground, but nobody's going to see this, so I'm not worried about making it look perfect. Actually, I will drop it down though. Still a little too high. Here we go, I can't glitch again. There we go. Yeah, that way it's a little bit closer to the ground. Alright, and what I will do is I will put down a battery here as well. This is just going to be a temporary thing. So I can keep track of how many of these I need to glitch in. I think it's normally around 7 or 8 I need, so... Yeah, I thought that looked kind of funny. Let's try 6 real quick, see what that's pulling. Okay, I'm already at 882, so I believe 2 more will get me there. Okay, and that's just slightly under. I think that'll be enough. Yeah, if I have to, I can always come back and toss another one up. Alright, so that one's done. I will leave my marker in place for now. Alright, I do have a ditch there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it... do this a certain way. I'm going to end up actually pulling my power backwards when I do this. Oh, actually, I've got a battery there. Yeah, I'm not going to do that battery. I'm going to take that out and take that out for now. Do this little wire up to there. Yeah, it's going to peek through. I was hoping it wouldn't. Alright, so that idea is done. I'm not gonna go make it look too fancy. Alright. I'll just pull my power to there then. Put that back. Take my wire. Now I'll just run back to my electric. Typically I would bury my wire somewhere, but I'm just going to try to get it kind of low here and just continue on. You can't see my marker. I don't think I had to stretch the power at all here. And my 2 hotspots are actually fairly close too. I had to stretch them you know, a couple hundred units, but nothing compared to that other base. So I just barely made it to there. Now I want to make sure I'm actually connecting to the hotspot. So make sure I'm not trying to connect to the wire I've been glitching on. Alright, so that should be good. So I'm gonna go, actually let me get a couple silos in place too. Hopefully I have enough. Actually I want to shrink it down too, so what I do is I tend to use the pallet. I'll get my pallet. I'll bring it all the way down. I just do this for space issues more than anything. The silos are just, they're way too tall. So what I'll do is I'll put down 2 pallets on top of each other. Bring this one up so that it just barely starts to pierce through it. Or, you know, pretty close to it. I'll just make it that big. And my silos are right here. Okay, I can build enough. Good. I didn't think I had enough metal plating. So, do that. Go to my silo. There. That's a much more reasonable size to deal with. Alright, so my resources are both going to be on this side, so what I'll do is typically I'll have a silo here and a silo on that side, but because my resources are both over there, I don't want to chance them crossing over or anything. Stick that there. So I'll have one there too. Alright, so what do we have? We have again, I can't spell my marker. Alright, we got radon dioxides over there, so go ahead and give these a color. Alright, so at least those are in place. Alright, recharge real quick. And get radon out of the way first. I probably should pull power now. See, if I had an extractor already in place, I would pull power back with me, but I don't think I left one. I don't think I left any extractors in place. I weren't sure if I'd have enough metal plating to do this, so. But I should be able to. I have no metal plating. I used it all up on those generators. What's that cost? Oh yeah, I did. I used it all up. Some more in here. Oh, not very much. Alright, I can build 6. I thought I had a bunch of metal plating. Yeah, what the heck? I knew I had more than that. Can I build a terminal? Alright, I'll buy whatever's in here for now. Let that replenish. I can always just make metal plating too, I don't want to have to keep going back and forth. Because with all these hotspots, you know, expanded out like this, sometimes if you leave the system, things can get a little bit wonky. So I want to get anything, you know, anything that I'm stretching to, I want to try to get in place at the base before I leave the system. Because right now I can still build alright, but sometimes you'll lose the ability to build. You can always get that back by talking to your base computer and then doing a reload. That typically fixes it. So like I've done more than a few of these bases, so I know the little tricks you can do. A lot of times just errors in this game. Typically just a quick reload fixes most issues. Alright, so I get my wire in place. And typically with the extractors, typically the front connector is the one I end up glitching on, but there have been times that I do it wrong. So I always just double check to make sure it's where it's okay, 39% is correct. So yeah, there have been times where like I pull my wire from the wrong direction and I'll end up accidentally glitching on the wrong end of the wire and I get a lower readout. Doesn't happen very often because I tend to try to do things in the same order each time. So get that one. Alright, and delete my wire. Now because this is dioxide, so I only need... Oh no, this is radon. I'm gonna double check myself here. This should be radon. Okay, radon. So I'm gonna need 8,000 of this total. So even though I don't need to, what I do is I put down 4 extractors. That way I have an even number. That's the only reason. You can totally do this with just 1 extractor. The problem is you need to get 8,000 radon for this. So I'm not sure how long that takes, but you might, you know, it might take longer, you know, it may take longer than 16 hours, because that's kind of your target when you do this, 16 hours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get 4 gas extractors, and I can build 6, so I should be good. So, put in 4 of those. Yeah, I do the 4 because you get 1,000 out of this, and then you have 1 silo back at your base. So that means I still have to build 6 more silos somewhere. And I can build 7, so I'm all set. I am gonna have to get more metal plating. I was hoping I could avoid it. What I'm gonna do is when I like to put my silos about 100 units from the base. So I'm gonna find a spot, and if I can find like a natural hole to stick them in, that's what I tend to do. But if I can't, I can always just make something up. But at the same time, I need to keep account of, you know, where these walls are too. I don't want to go outside of, you know, the buildable area. I get to, you know, right around 100, 150. Because you can stretch your pipe 200 units, so what I'll do is I'll find an area kind of like this, where there's like a hill in front of me. That way it's not so obvious. I'll just dig down. I don't go down real deep, but, you know, deep enough for a silo. Then I will put down a wire, because it doesn't have to be a pretty one or anything. Because sometimes I glitch them in and they go way over to the left or they lay right down, so what I'm going to do is do that and put a what am I looking for? I'll put down one of these. This is the only use in the game for these things that I use these things for. I never use them. I'll just put one of those there with a lantern on top of it. This is just to mark that there's a hole there. This is just how I keep track of it. Alright. And I will get my silos. So I'm going to want to glitch 6 of these down here, because that will give me 8,000 total. That's if I can glitch them in. Alright. Got 6 of those. And I'm going to do this thing a little bit backwards in a way. I'm going to run over here and grab my pipe. I'm not going to go very deep on that side. And same thing on this side for the dioxide. But this one I will go a little bit deeper. I just want to try to avoid any crossover. Alright. So those are done. And I'll grab a pipe. And I tend to go to the outside connector, not the inside. Mainly because I just don't want to see the pipe inside the building. So I'll just drop that down. I try to get it somewhat straight, but it's kind of hard to sometimes. I'll do that, make my connection, and what I'm looking for is where my beacon is. Alright, and I can see my lantern now. Yeah, I like to use the lantern just because it kind of stands out, it looks kind of foreign. Sometimes I'll put down like one of those signal boosters, you know, just to kind of mark the spot. Alright, so then I'll put my pipe right in there, start a new pipe on the other side, make my way back. Again, I want to try to stay in line with that middle wall. I got out here, how far is that? 279. I might have to do a couple different pieces of pipe. Yeah, I always try to make my pipes kind of low when I can, just so that they're kind of hidden a little bit. Like if I was trying to make this thing fancy or whatever, you wouldn't see any pipe or wire here at all. But the Permadeath save that pretty much only I'm gonna use the farms for, so. Over here, I'm just going to terminate it there. Connection's too long. Okay. Over here, there we go. Alright, so make my termination, and I glitch my extractor in backwards, but not a problem. Alright, and now I'll just do the same thing in reverse, but this time with the wire. And I try to stay somewhat close to where my pipe is. That way if one of them's broken, I can pretty easily trace back to where it's broken. Have some type of little guideline. Again, just trying to stay towards my middle wall. I'll end up doing a termination down here. When I get over here, I want to look to where my silos were. Yeah, that roof part, that's the only thing I use that thing for. I don't think I've ever used them for anything. But they're kind of it's just an oddball thing to see, so it's just a kind of an easy way to keep track of what stuff is. Now, I almost connected to that wire. I don't want to do that. That's my glitch, my glitch wire. All I'm going to do is put my wire there and run it all the way back. I like to have all of my my pipe and wire in the same location, so again, if anything goes wonky, I have one of them that I can trace back to figure out what went wrong. Alright, so I'll wire down there, and I should be able to connect to that one. There we go. Sometimes it's finicky, but you just have to get the right angle. Alright, and hop up here and just make sure everything's working. Then I'll run over and do the dioxide. And I'll take a peek. And that looks good. Alright, so go over and do the dioxide now. And just do a quick recharge. Alright. So dioxide is over here somewhere. Alright, there's my marker. What I'm going to do is about 100, right around 300 units away, I'm going to just dig a hole like I did on the other side. Actually, I won't even have to. I'll just drop it right in this ditch. So yeah, if there's an area like this, instead of digging a ditch, I'll just terminate the pipe and wire down there. So I'm not worried about making it look real good or anything, but I just don't want to have a bunch of pipe and stuff in the air. Alright. And oh, I should have checked to see if I could build one of these. Still good on that, so. Yeah, I only need 800 dioxide for this. So I'm actually just going to rip that right out. Alright, and toss an extractor in. Just check it real quick. Alright, 79%, so that should be good. I'm not going to bother sinking that one down. I'm going to leave it like it is. And it's the only one I'm going to need, so I'm just going to take the wire out because I won't need it again. Alright, and run some pipe. Yeah, that one's nice and easy. There's nothing to it. And when I see this double wall, I know that I only have 300 more units to go. So it helps me kind of judge where I have to terminate my pipe too. You know that I'm going to stretch this as far as I possibly can. Alright. Too long, too long. Because that runs only like 400 units. So, well, longer than I thought. Right around there. And then I'll do another termination down here. So I don't want to cut that one too close. I want to be able to put it down in that hole. The hole that I dug. Switch over to camera. Drop that down there nice and deep so nothing interferes with it. Then sometimes it can be tricky trying to see which one you're connecting to, but I know it's that one. Alright, switch over to wire. See if I can connect onto that wire. Bring that down. Alright. I'll just run back and give it some juice. Like, you can go onto the map and do this stuff too. Sometimes it's quicker that way. I like to just run them out though, that way I know all my stuff is together, you know. Sometimes I'll actually put the wire right on top of the pipe. And do one there. Now I should be able to get the rest of the way without any issues. Unless that plant decides to attack me. Actually, I will put another one here. I think I could have made it the whole way, it's just I didn't want to chance it. Alright, just tie that right in. Everything powered right up, so I will run back and check it. What I'll do is I'll get these bases set up, then I'll just come back and I'll delete all these walls. Do that tonight or whatever. Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get both of these done. I only have about 2 hours to play, so hoping to get both of them done in this this little stream. Jump right up here. Just verify that that thing's working. Alright. Gotta mute here for a sec. Alright. Well, that's good. I had to sneeze. So. Alright. I'm gonna have to put down some storage containers. Because I was going to use my Colossus, but I'm just going to try to do it all right here. Storage containers. I'm going to need... Actually, I might as well put down number 2 too, because I know I'm going to need ferrite dust. I'm going to put down 2... Actually... No, I do need... We'll need 2, 4, 6, and then I will need number 8. If I can just tie that right in here. Alright. That'll save me from having to do it a long way. Alright. Boy, it's a mess. Alright, let's... Yeah, might as well just get the gas out of the way first. But I do one plant at a time. I just gotta bring up my little chart here. Okay, actually, we'll get gut rot out of the way. Well, actually, I have to build my domes first. So I'm gonna need, some glass. Let's see here. I'm gonna need 70 glass. I'm not sure how much of the other stuff. So I'm just gonna take a just take 100 glass. Well, I'll just take what I need. Okay, so 14 should be good there. I might need more pure ferrite though. I'm saying I can build 14. Alright, that should be good. Go get the biodomes built. I always try to go inside when I do this too. I'm gonna do what I did before on that liquid explosive farm, same type of setup. I'm gonna have 2, and I'll go over to this. 2, and 1 of those. Because I'm gonna have 14, so I'm gonna have 2 different rows. So all I'm gonna do is, these are gonna be temporary. And I'll just leave that one in place for now, just in case I mess something up. And actually just do the other side as well. I think I have enough stuff. Actually flip that around. Actually, I should have colored these. Yeah, I'm not sure what I did for color here either. Yeah, just go that color on everything. I meant to do this before I started. Alright. And biodome time. So there's going to be 7 on 7 on each side. Because I need, let me just double check, yeah, living glass, 14 biodomes. So I'm just going to skip the top one on the front. Just put all the other ones right in place. All right. All right. So those are all good. I'm still gonna leave that one there. Take out these. Alright. So everything's got power still, so I should be good. And start working on the plants now. Let's see, I'm gonna have 2 biodomes of Thesium, of gut rot. 4 of frost crystal, and then the rest are all gamma wheat. So what I do is I start off with the smallest one first, and let me just check to make sure. I should have plenty of room for this. The one that might be an issue might be gamma, because that's 6,400 gamma and 3,200 uranium. So if I have to, I might have to shift some stuff around. Alright, so 1,200 of that. So take out 200. Of that. Alright. Now when I check my inventory, I should be able to plant. That's not right, I should be able to do 32. Let me see here. 3 times 32. 1280. Oh, I took. Okay. I took 1200. I say my math is wrong? That can't be. Yeah, another 80. See, that's why I like to have exact numbers when I do this. There's moments like that. So, got rot. 32, that's better. So this one is kind of weird. Normally I'd like to have things like symmetrical, but I'm just gonna, I don't know, have it not be symmetrical, I guess. So what I do is I like to start on the bottom, just because it's easier to line up the top plants when you do these. So I'll use these two bottom ones on this side for the gut rot, and then just fill it in with frost crystal. I will have one that's got gamma weed in it, but actually I'll just do gamma in this one, and the other 4 will be frost crystal. So go outside, and I always start at where the door would be. That way I don't forget to put it there. But at least with this setup, you're using full biodomes for your plants, and everything's, you know, a factor of 16. So if you miss a plant, you should know it when you go to plant it. If you miscount. All right, so there's 32 of those, and I always do a save in between. It's like I'm weird like that. All right, frost crystal, and I need 3,200. So bring over 3,000, and then take 200 more. And dioxide. 1,600. So take my 1,000, and then an additional 300. An additional 600. Sorry. Say that didn't sound right. Alright, now if I check my frost crystal, 64. So the math is mathing. Alright, so gonna be 4 biodomes of that. So again, I just start on the bottom where my door is. I do that mainly because it's how I've always done it. It's easier for me to keep track of how many plants I'm actually planting. Especially if I'm doing like overstuffed biodomes. It's way easier for me to track where I begin and where I leave off. Alright, so there's that. 48 more. See, once you get like a system, it's makes doing these really quick. And having all your material you need is something that's really nice to get in the habit of doing. So I got 2 more biodomes. I'll just plant them right on right where the other ones were, just in the top. Alright, one more. I keep forgetting there are animals on this planet. They keep distracting me. I keep hearing their noises they make. Alright, a couple more. Alright, frost crystals in place. Do a save. Now the challenge is going to be Gamma. I think I've got enough room, so... So... 6,400. 6. And 400. And that would be what, 3,200 uranium. 1, 2, 3. 3,200. Alright, so if I look at this for Gamma, where is it? Alright, 128, which is right. Oops. I hate it when I do that, I accidentally go out of camera mode. So I'm just going to use this one on the end. Right, one more. And I'll just come over to the other side and fill these completely with Gamma. Yeah, so doesn't take too long to do these. And of course you can do like overstuffed biodomes and stuff like that too. If I was on normal mode, yeah, this would be probably a 64 or 128 stasis devices at once. But with Permadeath, you just don't have the ability to do that. You know, your inventory limits are not good. I was actually just looking at the amount of crops I can still plant, and I thought maybe I was missing a biodome. It's because there's only 7 biodomes on this side. I was thinking there were 8. So, yep, 3 more to do. I just have to throw that circuit board farm together and this thing will be up and running. Yeah, every 16 hours you'll have stasis devices. I'm not sure how often you can do living glass. I'm not sure if it's every 4 hours or every 8 hours. But you can actually get extra batches. I don't think you can with the circuit boards though. I think one of those takes cactus. Cactus takes 16 hours. That's like the plant that holds up everything, it seems. That and the other plant there, the selenium. I don't think, do you need, yeah, you need selenium and cactus over there. So, yeah, those plants take forever. Actually, get these planted. I want to see how long these actually take. Alright, so gamma is 4 hours. Gut rot, 4 hours. Frost crystal is quick. So, I mean, you can do, you know, a couple extra runs of living glass in between. Alright, so that's all that stuff. Oh, not too bad. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to take a couple thousand of that. Jump in my ship. Make up just make up a bunch of metal plating. That way I have enough for the next farm. Yeah. I think 40 will probably get me past. Do a quick calculation on my materials. Alright, so number 10 of those. Ooh, what am I must be low on chromatic metal. Yep, that's what it is.
Ground protection fully.
Rob whatever I can out of this.
Product received.
Break that down. Actually grab another stack of that. Some more of this. That will be enough. That should be enough. Pure ferrite, grab some more of that. Oh, I didn't realize I had that much ferrite dust on me. So, grab some more of these. There. Alright, I don't need all this carbon here either. I grabbed a bunch of extra carbon because I needed it for walls. So actually, let me get rid of some of that right now while it's fresh in my mind. Alright, that'll work, I guess. Oh, I need a couple carbon nanotubes. carbon back in here. And same thing with the oxygen. I thought I was going to need oxygen for something, and guess not. Alright, should be good with that. Should grab glass. I think I need, I want to say 90. Stick it down here. Alright, that should be good. And toss down a teleporter. Up here. Alright, I left my pallet there, so I think that storage container is like 1.5. That's right about there. I always put storage container 0. Because what I actually do is I'll warp in here, I'll make my living glass, and then I'll take my supplies and just toss them right in my storage container. Just so it's not all sitting right in my inventory. Right. Actually, I could have gone a little smaller on that, but it'll get the job done. No, actually, that's about right. All right. Get rid of this. Yeah, and I'll come back here probably later today or tomorrow morning and just clean up all the walls and stuff. I want to try to get all this built today. Alright. Actually, won't need that there. I leave this here as more of like a insurance policy more than anything. Just in case I need to refine my center or anything. Give that a rust. No, doesn't really look rusted, does it? Alright, and do a quick upload. A new screenshot. Alright, give it an upload, and I always check to make sure this is working too. Looks good. Alright, do a quick save. And hopefully I can teleport into this circuit board farm without any issues. I should be good. So we'll head over that way. Yeah, so I already put up a building and landing pad and teleporter here. So it'll just be easier getting in and out. Now I got a firestorm right away. Alright, just want to make sure that should be good for a little bit. Alright. Well, we'll give this a chance to pass. Because I don't want a chance run into one of those magma storms when I'm out there. Yeah, luckily most of my hotspots here are actually pretty close. Let me just take a peek out here and see if I dug holes or anything. Nope. Well, I can get my silos in place, I guess. I'm gonna have to mute my mic for a few seconds here. Sorry about that. allergies are still giving me a hard time. Don't want to be sneezing directly into the mic and blowing out eardrums, so get a couple silos in place. So let's see here. I don't know why I keep going to that screen for my silos. So try that again. There we go. So I'm gonna have, I believe, sulfurines on that side. You can't see my marker. Yep, sulfurines on that side. This is how I typically have it set up. I have one on that side and one on that side. I just had to change that other one a little bit because of the hotspot location. Alright, so we're gonna have phosphorus over here. Sulfurine over here. And how am I gonna do that? Alright, just had a brain cramp. Alright, do that, do that. Get my colors in place first. Now, I don't want to have to move this building, so I'm going to do things a little bit different when I lay these out.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
Yeah, I already have power here, so I can't just move my building. So, do that, do that. Alright. And actually, I can leave that wall there instead of... Actually...
Extreme night temperature detected.
Yeah, I can just use the wall. Alright. I'll take that out. I'm gonna have two... Why isn't it letting me switch to the next part? I don't know why this game does stuff the way that it does stuff sometimes. Now two, and then one here. And just delete the ones I don't need. And just do the same thing over here. Okay, you can make these so that you just walk directly through your biodomes. I just think it feels clunky when I do it like that, so I've always been doing it this way since. Toss these in. Alright, so that is set up. Probably be a good idea to do a quick save, and I'm gonna go figure out power. If I can find my beacon, it's over there. Yeah, getting to the power is a pain here. You have these huge shrubs. I think you run into just about every hazardous plant possible, too. You can't see very well. Alright, there's my walls. So I put down one of them just so that I would have power for my teleporter. So I do want to just check. Alright, I still can build alright. I was worried because sometimes teleporting, it resets your radius. Luckily it seems like everything's fine though. I'll do the same thing, I'll toss down a battery just to see what I'm pulling.
Extreme temperature detected.
I don't remember what class this hotspot is. Alright, this must be a B class. No, I think it's C class actually. Yep, it's a C class. I saw a 200 in my battery for a second and thought it was a B class. So I'll do the same thing. I believe it was 8 of them that I put in. Alright, I can build 12, so I should be good. Actually, what does 6 give me? It's like 800 and something, wasn't it? Yeah, 888. So 2 more of these. And I'm not going to make anything look fancy on this planet. It's too crazy. That should work. Alright. If I have to, I'll come make another one. And I'll do the same thing. I'll clean up all these walls later on. Alright. So there's one out of the way. And actually, how far away is... I'm gonna head right for that phosphorus. Instead of going all the way back there first. It would be nice if I could run my power, but I can't build here. That's one thing you can do is you can, if your hotspots are kind of close together, you can run your electricity right to the phosphorus, but yeah, I still don't have building rights. I should down here though. Yeah, that's why I tend to run it from the building back out. Alright, now I can build. Alright, and I should have a wire here. Why don't I see a wire? Oh, there is a wire. That's weird. Why is it on the bottom of that? Oh, that's weird. Alright, phosphorus, I'm only gonna need 1 extractor. And just make sure that's in place. Yeah, 79%, it should be good. And you know what? Because of the way this planet is, I'm not even gonna run power to this. I'm just going to do the, solar powered. So just do that, 2 of these. Now, if there were 4 extractors, I would use my power. But because there's only 1 of them, I don't mind using the resources for it. It'll just make things easier. All right, grab my pipe and head on out. That way I don't have to come back here. Just to delete my walls. Stretch this as far as I can. When I get to my wall with the lantern on it, it means 300 units more, so I'm actually gonna terminate my wire, my thing there, my pipe. Just continue making my way over. See, trying to traverse through all this stuff is not fun. I'm just trying to avoid one of those magma storms too. So terminate there. And like I didn't even bother digging holes for these or anything either. Oh, too close to starship. Alright. See if I can drop this over here somewhere. That's something that I hope they fix at some point. This is the most annoying thing. Okay, see if I can toss my ship over here somewhere. Yeah, that was one of the big improvements Frontiers gave us. Your ship is always in the way when you want to build too close. Are you kidding me? Will it let me pull from here? Yeah, it lets me pull from there though. That makes sense. Alright. So let's get up here. Make sure that's working. Alright, so that's good. Now phosphorus you only need 800 as well, so I don't need more silos or anything. Although my sulfurine I will need more silos. I got one. Actually, I do have an extra silo over here already with sulfurine. Yep, one right there. So I'm actually gonna just run my pipe. Run my pipe right to it. Alright. And I'm also gonna run power to it. Just gonna put my power wire right on top of that. Now hopefully I can tie into it. Hopefully. Alright, let's see what my protection looks like. Oh, I still have 33%. I didn't think I had that much. Real quick save. Grab a drink, and then we'll head over. Alright. The building over there won't be too bad because I actually made a hole right into the base of that. Actually, while I'm here, see if I can tie into that. Try to do this right in camera mode. That way I don't have to mess around with this stuff later.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Yeah, here we go. The firestorm. Firestorm's not too bad. It's the stupid magma that I want to avoid. Alright, and see if I can do the same thing with the pipe. I am there. What I'll do is I still have to build, five more silos. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick them over here. I probably should have built them instead of bringing this over, but it's alright. Just toss my pipe right there. Alright. Now let's get inside. Yeah, I had to put all this stuff here so I wouldn't lose my my spot. Alright. Take a quick look at that. Alright, 39%. So I'm going to do the same thing. 4 extractors. And I can build one. What am I missing? Chromatic metal. Alright. That's what my nutrient processor is for. If I can find it. That's why this thing is so useful. So, I think that will be enough. Let's see here. Yep, that's enough. So pick that up. So I'm gonna build 3 more of these. And I should be able to run my wire right to it. Alright, so far so good. And I'm gonna leave my silos outside. I thought about putting them in there, but I think... Actually, let me run out there real quick. I did not know these were here. Come on, pick it up. There we go. I need to make a bunch of hypercores still. I think I got enough for now, but... Alright, let me refill this.
Technology recharge.
Alright, silos. Really? I only built 3. And having only 6 metal plating in a stack is an inconvenience, actually, and let me just go. Actually, toss that down. Alright.
Product received.
Be back in business. Right there. Now I got 5. Actually, go and do something kind of like that. That way I don't have to use up more carbon and ferrite dust to make a bunch of pipe. Alright. I'll grab my pipe here. Put it to that one. Pipe. Oh. Over to that. That should read. Alright, be 8,000, exactly what I'm looking for. So head back now. Yeah, when I was getting my hotspots together for this yesterday, I had magma storm, the regular heat storm, and I also had meteors going on all at the same time. This planet is friggin' wild. When I get over here, I just want to just verify that everything is connected. So 8,000 should be good, and 1250 over here. Perfect. Alright, so that stuff is good to go. I need a couple of storage containers, 4 and 6 I believe. Yeah, that's a good thing about having my storage set up like this. It's the same thing across all my saves. So, I can kind of, pretty easily, know what's in which when I need them. Of course, normal mode, I barely really need to use them because my stack size is so much bigger. Let's see, biodomes. Alright, and 15 is right. I just wanted to double check it before I get too carried away. So I'm gonna go red with rust. And actually I can get those walls out of there, I won't need them. Alright, so trying to figure out which one I'm gonna leave empty. I'm probably just gonna leave this back one empty on this side. And put all the other ones in. Alright, and then take these out. Yeah, you want to make sure you take those out before you plant, because when you do take them out, it'll take your plant with it, so. Alright, so those are good. Do a quick save. Oh, sorry, I had to step out for a couple moments. Because of the way this planet is, I'm going to actually put these inside, I think. I don't want to be trying to interact with those and get careless. So I'm going to just shrink these down. Number 4. Oops. Try that again. And number 6. Yeah, you take damage even if you're interacting with these. I think you do anyway. I don't want to chance it, so. Good. Close to 100 hours now on this save. I don't want to be doing something stupid. Alright, now, circuit board. Typically, I start with pretty much what takes the least biodomes to fill up. So in this case, it's going to be cactus flesh. That will have its own spot. Clear up a couple things so I can see stuff a little bit easier. Just refill that. Throw that away. I got so many of those now. Actually, expand this over. Yeah, that way I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Alright. So, cactus flesh. 400 pyrite. Why does it do stupid stuff like that?
Weather update. Storm clearing.
Alright, 400 pyrite. I'm gonna see if I can get a couple different plants going at once. Because the cactus isn't very much, and neither is frost crystal. So 800 dioxide. There we go. Alright, my plants. Cactus, I need 800. And frost crystal. 1600. 1,000 there, and another 6 there. That was nice and easy. Alright, now before I plant these, I just want to verify I have the correct amounts. Cactus. 16, that's right. Frost crystal should be 32. Alright. What I'll do is find that odd one, which was on this side. So what I'll do is I'll have cactus here and frost crystal here, and then the other 4 on this side is going to be selenium. So go get this out of the way. Cactus. There shouldn't be a biodome over here. You can tell because, you know, they look different. You can tell there's 2 of them there. So get my 16 cactus put in. This is the stuff that takes up all your waiting time because it's a 16-hour grow time. Yeah, I think you can get like, what, 5 or 6 batches of living glass each day. So that's always like some extra money. So if you're looking to just stack up on a bunch of those, you can do that. Alright, and Frostworth over here. Got 2 biodomes of that. Yeah, if you go in multiples of 16, it makes things a lot easier. Like if you're trying to make like 50 of these, then the math gets all weird and your biodomes get weird too. It's just, you know, weird as in like piece counts. Just easier to figure this stuff out when you got a number like 16 or even 8, you know, 8, 32, 64. It's easy to figure out this stuff. Pretty much all you just do is double each time you go up by 16. Alright, so this is almost done. Couple more. Alright, and I always do a save after doing that, just so it's out of the way. I don't have to think about it now. Alright, and next up is going to be selenium. I need 1,600. Oh, good, I did have enough. I didn't think I had. I knew I was pretty close. Goes. Grab another 600 out of that. So that means it should be, what, 3,200? Yep, 3,200 selenium. So, 3. And another 200. See, that way I can't accidentally overplant or underplant. And I always verify I have enough. 64 is correct. So, go fill up these last 4 biodomes with that. And either tomorrow or the day after, I'll do a full run through this, just so you guys can see how it all comes together. The longest part is actually going to be refining ionized cobalt and condensed cobalt. That'll take, you know, like 20 minutes probably. What I might do is just do a cut in the middle to when I have it all refined, and then just throw the product together. Because that's just literally just running from refiner and taking stuff out and putting more stuff in. Just oxygen and condensed carbon, ionized cobalt. So, but I mean, I can do a full run of this in, you know, it's typically about 20 minutes. It's pretty quick. And the new way of, that new crafting tree for this stuff makes it even faster. Alright, one more on this side. Then this last dome. Then the last 8 domes will just be Star Bramble. So that will be the whole thing. Yeah, I pretty much make a Stasis device farm on all of my saves for the most part. Well, anything that's not just strictly for building. Alright. So those are done. Now for a whole lot of Star Bolt. Let's see here. Gonna need 3,200 paraffinium. Alright, and 6,400, I believe. 6,400, yep. Why is it? Can do that. Alright, let's bring over that. Gonna have a little bit extra. There we go. Alright, and just to verify... I shouldn't have to, but I always do. It'd be the one time I don't, that it won't add up. And 128, which is correct. Alright, and go plant this. And you can always come back to these farms too, like if you need need to make glass or whatever, you can always come in and just rob them too. So you just have to remember that you took stuff during the grow cycle, so you might be short, but not too big of a deal because you can always make up for it the next day, or take the plants back with you and refine them, or make more plants, or you know, all types of stuff like that. Just on Permadeath, you're so limited by your stack size, so you just have to be mindful of your inventory when you do stuff. Alright, so 6 more biodomes to go. Yeah, I weren't sure if I'd be able to get 2 of these built in a couple hours, but it looks like I'll be able to get there. And I'll jump on tonight for a bit and just clean up all the walls and stuff I use to expand my boundaries. And I should try to do a bunch of nanite farming too. I'm considering upgrading my my multi-tool. Alright, so those are done. I got 4 more to do, but what I do like to do is just save halfway through. You know, sometimes the game can crash and stuff like that, so get these last 4 planted and that will be the end of this. So I was thinking about doing a fusion igniter farm as well. Um, but that might be after I reach the center or something like that. I do have another abandoned run I'm thinking about doing that's going to be much harder than this. It'd be much more limited too. I'm just kind of working out how I want to run it though. Alright, it should be... there it is. Yeah, it's going to be like no starter ship, no multi-tool. I'm considering no HUD also. But what I'm thinking of is doing a no HUD at the start until you get a multi-tool, then you can have your HUD. Something like that. And there's going to be no bases. I have to see if you start abandoned mode with the little terminals or not. It might be a thing where you can do the based archive quest, but then you have to delete your base. Because what I'm thinking is you live the entire run out of your exocraft and your ship and your backpack. That's it. Maybe you do other things like, you know, you can access the anomaly, but you can't take a multi-tool, you can't use the Quicksilver Bender, stuff like that. You know, just, you know, you gotta kind of make your own game sometimes in this. So, almost like a stranded run. Yeah, I was thinking about doing no buildings too, but that would be, I think it would be too hard, especially with no HUD and no multi-tool. But, that's what I'm thinking. I'd just do a couple little trial runs and see how it kind of plays out. Alright, so everything's planted. I do want to make sure I put down a storage container though. I actually did 1.5. So just drop this down a little bit more. Be right around there. Storage container 0. This is just the way I do it. I see people do their farms a little bit different, but this is how I've been doing them for 4 or 5 years now. Ever since we got that new crafting system. It's changed a little bit, but not all that much. Oh, and now I know why I didn't have any metal plating. I have a bunch of metal plating in my ship. I knew I had more. Alright. I got extra paraffinium in here. Oh, it's normally down in the corner. Yeah, I always keep some of that for my exocraft, because I have to bring it in. Alright. So, yeah, and I'll swing back in tonight, clean things up a little bit, and run off a bunch of nanites, because I am pretty poor on nanites right now. So, alright guys, well I appreciate you swinging in, and yeah, I'm just trying to think of, there was something else I wanted to, I do want to visit some purple systems too, set up mines in those. I was also thinking about a cadmium farm and an emerald farm, because I don't have those resources, and also basalt. I was thinking about doing a farm for everything, so they'll just be little tiny farms, but it'll give me something to do for a few hours, you know. So I might try to, you know, do a little bit of exploring and set up little tiny farms for that stuff too. Because some of these plants do take some of that material, the venom. I need emerald for. Albium is indium. I already have that. I don't think there's anything for cadmium. Nothing that I can think of. No, there isn't. Um, but yeah, so I can set up little, albium pearl farms or whatever. Uh, I do want to do a large nip farm at some point also. Um, I have to start getting material together for that though. I have to stop selling it. It's more like a, um, yeah. I keep selling it when I sell liquid explosive. So all right. Well, again, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care.